If you want to know how to make this beautiful ball dress, grab yourself a popcorn, sit aside and enjoy watching this tutorial, because I'm going to be sharing with you step by step on how to make this ball dress with just one sleeve and a cape around the neck line. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, LynPreferred. My name is Linda. So stay tuned, let's make this dress together. Okay. This dress is for a 6-year-old girl. I folded my pattern paper into two like this and I ruled a straight line across there, which is going to be my shoulder line and also my starting point. So from there, I'm going to go down by 12 inches for the body's length. You can as well go down by 11.5 inches, is also fine. Okay, so after that, I'm going to be connecting with a straight line, and then I'm going to divide the shoulder measurement by 2 and I'm going to mark it on that line. So from that point, I'm going to go down by 1/2 inch. Then for the neck width, I went in by 3 inches. Then for the neck depth, 2.5 inches. So I'm going to be connecting these 2 points together to get my neckline. Then from that other point there, I'm going to connect a straight line back to the neckline. This way I'm trying to create my shoulder slope. So from that shoulder line, I'm going to go down by 5.5, which is the armhole. Then I'm going to rule a straight line to meet with that line there. Okay, after that, I'm going to rule a straight line across there. This line is going to be my chest line. I'm going to divide my chest circumference by 4 and then I'm going to add 0.5 to it. I'll mark it on that line. So I'm going to extend that line to that point. So divide the waist circumference by 4 and add 0.5 to it. You're also going to mark it there and then connect the 2 points together this way. Use your armhole curve and connect your armhole. All right, so I'm going to be cutting out this shape like this. Remember, this is a one sleeve dress. I'm going to be notching the center line this way. So now you're going to determine the part where you want your one sleeve to be. So I'm going to choose that part there. So from that point now, I'm going to mark a line there, something like a curve, not really a straight line. I'm going to connect it from that center line to the armhole that way. Then I'm going to cut out that part. I'm going to be using this pattern paper to cut out my front panel. Okay, I am done cutting it out. I added 1/2 inch on the shoulder line, neckline, sides and armhole. Then for the bottom part, I added 1 inch, which is my stitching allowance. All right, I'll go ahead to unpin everything and then I'm going to grab my pattern paper. I'm going to divide it into 2 by cutting through the center line. Okay, I'm going to be using the center line now to cut out the back fabric. All right, this is the center, this is the side, and the other part is the hem. I labeled it in order not to be confused. All right, so now I am done cutting everything out. I added 1/2 inch or around it. For the bottom part, I added 1 inch. Then for the zipper allowance part, I added 1.5 inches. So I'm going to be using these pieces here to cut out the lining. Okay, so now I am done cutting out the lining right now. So I am going to unpin everything. I'm going to open up everything and show you what I have. It is very simple. Okay, so this is what I have for the lining. Okay, go ahead and bring the back piece and the front piece of the main fabric. You join them together this way, right sides facing each other. You're going to stitch on the shoulder line. You're going to do the same on the lining. You put them together like this, make sure the right sides are facing each other, and then you're going to stitch on the shoulder line. So now I am done stitching everything together. I'm going to be combining the two together again. You make sure the right sides are facing each other. I'm going to pin them together using my pins before I stitch. So now here you're going to be stitching through the armhole and then the neckline. Okay, stitch the armhole, stitch the neckline, but do not stitch through the zipper allowance. Okay, you skip the zipper allowance and then make your stitches. Then for the other side, I'm going to grab them together. You put them together, make sure the right sides are facing each other, and then you're going to stitch on top like this, and do not stitch through the zipper allowance. I am done stitching everything together. I also overlocked it to avoid that dirty rough finishing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to turn it out this way. I'm going to pull the back to the front through the shoulder, put the back to the front through the shoulder. I'm going to open it up, and this is what I have. For the other part, I'm going to turn it to the right side like this. Then I'm going to put them together. Okay, so this is how the dress is supposed to be. I'm going to carefully arrange everything the way it should be. I'm going to put them together like this. Then I'm going to stitch the sides. Okay, to stitch the sides, I'm going to grab the side of the back and then the side of the front piece. I'll put them together. I will use my pins to hold them together. You make sure the right sides are facing each other, and then you're going to stitch using 1/2 inch. Okay, after that, you're going to be doing the same on the other side. You grab the side of the front and the side of the back. You pin them together using your pins. Always make sure the right sides are facing each other. Then you're going to stitch using 1/2 inch. Okay. Now I am done stitching everything together. This is what I have. I also overlocked it, as you can see. So I'm going to be setting this aside, and then I'm going to move to the down part. All right, so now I am done making the skirt part. This is what I have. Okay, I'm going to quickly explain what I did here. Before I pleated this, I hemmed the down part. Okay, then I also used this white fabric that I got from a tailor shop. I don't know the name, I don't know what to call it. So just to spice up this dress, you can decide to play around with this. Just stitch it anywhere you want around the skirt before you pleat. Okay, so but before you make your pleat or your pleating, you make sure you take the waist circumference of your top or your bodies. Okay, you take the waist circumference, whatever thing you have there, that is the measurement you're going to use to pleat these skirts. Okay, this down part. So now what I'm going to do next is to be stitching them together this way. Okay, you're going to place them right sides facing each other, and you're going to flip away the lining part. First, you're going to be using your pins to hold them together, and then you're going to run a straight stitch all the way from beginning to the end that way. Okay, so now I am done stitching that. This is what I have. I'm going to be setting this aside and then do the lining for the down part. The length of your lining should be at least 1.5 inches shorter than the skirt part of the main fabric of this dress. Okay, that other part we pleated, so make sure the lining is a little bit shorter than it. So I also cut out my hard net. Okay, the width of this lining is about 12 inches. Before you pleat your hard net on your satin fabric, you're going to be pleating this on the wrong side of the satin fabric. Before you pleat it, make sure you leave about 1 inch before you start pleating it, and then leave about 1/2 inch from the top. Okay, then you pleat it this way. You're going to run a straight stitch. You're going to also hem the down part. Run a straight stitch from beginning to the end. Okay, if you want it fuller, you're going to be using more pleat. More, you're going to be pleating more hard net. Okay, as you can see, I also left about 1 inch before I stopped. Okay, next you're going to be attaching this hard net and the lining to the lining of the dress, the top of the dress. Okay, so you're going to join them together like this. You make sure the right sides are facing each other. Then you're going to be pleating the lining of the hard net. You're going to pleat it on the other lining this way. This is how you're going to pleat until you get to the end. Okay, so now I am done pleating everything. This is what I have. I'm going to go ahead and overlock everything later. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to attach my zipper. I'm going to be dropping a different video on how to attach a zip to a ball dress. Okay, so now I'm done attaching the zipper. This is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to be putting the cape. This cape, as you can see, I cut it in a C manner. I didn't cut it straight. I cut two of it. So I cut the two, and then I already joined them together this way before I turned it out like this. But before you cut your cape, you ensure you take the neckline measurement. Okay, you take the measurement around the neckline. Okay, then you're going to use this measurement to cut out your cape. Okay, so now I am going to be attaching the cape around this neckline. So before that, I'm going to be this cape, the width is about 4 inches. So I'm going to be weaving the top of this cape. Like, I am done weaving this. Okay, so now I am going to stitch it around the neckline. So now I am going to be weaving the end, just to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that later. I'm going to weave the end, then after weaving it, but for now I use my pin to hold it. Then I'm going to open up the zipper, fold in that weaved part in. You're going to fold it in, use your pin to hold it down. You're going to pin it all around before you make your stitches. Okay, so as you can see, I am going to make my stitch around the neckline, just very close to the neckline. Okay, so I'm going to pin it down all around it, then I'm going to stitch from there all the way to the other side. Okay, now I am done stitching everything together. This is what I have. Okay, this is what I have here. As you can see, it is looking very neat. So the next thing I did was to make a strip or a small band. I added it on the other sleeve. Okay, but this part is totally optional. You can as well decide not to do it. Okay, just to show you, I made another style of the same dress. The only difference is that this one is not carrying the cape. I only attached that white band on the neckline. Then I made a ruffle. I pleated my net and I used my needle and thread to tack it around the sleeve. So it is the same thing with that one. Okay, it's just the sleeve and the neckline. That's the only difference. So back to this one, I'm going to be using this white thing. If you know the name of this white thing, please put it down in the comment section. I don't know the name. So I'm going to pin this around the cape. You make sure you pin it down first before you stitch. I'm going to stitch around this. So now I am done stitching everything together. This is what I have here. As you can see, our ball dress is ready. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.